You know this tiny bottle? The one at every party, every fast food meal, every gas station checkout? It starts here, in a chemical tank with 39 grams of sugar, phosphoric acid strong enough to dissolve teeth, and a secret formula locked in a vault that only two people on Earth know completely. Welcome to the real story of Coca-Cola production, where these miniature bottles hide massive secrets. That refreshing fizz you crave, that addictive taste, it begins with industrial chemical mixing, precise caffeine addition for addiction, acids that can strip rust from metal, and enough sugar to exceed your entire daily limit in one tiny bottle. This has been hiding in plain sight for over 130 years, 1.9 billion servings consumed daily worldwide. Almost nobody knows what actually creates that pause that refreshes. Here's the thing that will blow your mind. These Coca-Cola bottles are miniature, just 5 to 10 centimeters tall, smaller than your hand. But the factory workers, normal size. The equipment, massive compared to the tiny bottles. Watch as giant human hands manipulate these miniature bottles by the thousands. See building height tanks producing millions of tiny drinks. The scale is surreal. And the truth, even more shocking. Buckle up, we're going inside the Coca-Cola mega factory, where miniature bottles reveal massive chemical secrets. Before we dive into this miniature chemical nightmare, let's get some facts crystal clear. Fact 1. Coca-Cola's original formula contained cocaine. From 1886 to 1903, every bottle had trace amounts of cocaine from coca leaf extract. That's why it's called Coca-Cola. The cocaine was removed over a century ago, but the name stuck. Fact 2. Only two people on Earth know the complete Coca-Cola formula at any given time. They're never allowed to travel together. If they both died simultaneously, the formula would die with them. It's locked in a vault in Atlanta that requires multiple keys to open. Fact 3. The average American consumes 45 gallons of Coca-Cola products per year. That's nearly 400 cans per person every year. Fact 4. One miniature bottle of Coca-Cola contains 39 grams of sugar. Your entire recommended daily sugar intake for an adult is 50 grams. One tiny bottle gives you 78% of your daily limit. Fact 5. Coca-Cola contains phosphoric acid, the same acid used in rust removers and dental etching solutions. It's what gives Coke that tangy bite. And yes, it can damage tooth enamel with regular consumption. But here's what nobody talks about: the scale of production. These miniature Coca-Cola bottles, tiny compared to human hands, are produced at impossible speed. 2,000 bottles per minute in some facilities, 33 bottles every second. The contrast is jarring. Miniature products, giant humans. Industrial precision at impossible speed. So how do you transform water, sugar, caffeine, and mysterious ingredients into these perfect miniature bottles? How do you make chemicals taste like happiness in a bottle? And how do massive factories produce billions of tiny drinks without consumers questioning what creates that addiction? The answer is chemical engineering, flavor science, carbonation precision, and the most closely guarded secret formula in commercial history. Let's follow the journey from industrial sugar tanks to miniature convenience store drinks. This is the complete process, nothing hidden, except the formula itself. Step 1. The foundation that makes up 90% of every bottle: water. But not tap water, not well water, not even standard filtered water. Coca-Cola uses reverse osmosis purified water. Every mineral removed, every contaminant eliminated, every natural characteristic erased. Why? Because Coca-Cola must taste identical whether you're in Tokyo, London, Sao Paulo, or Atlanta. Natural water varies by region. Minerals affect taste. So Coca-Cola strips water down to pure H2O, then adds back specific minerals in precise quantities. The water arrives at factories through massive industrial pipes. It flows through multi-stage filtration systems, carbon filters, reverse osmosis membranes, UV sterilization, the works. What emerges is water more pure than most bottled water you can buy. Completely flavorless, completely consistent, a blank canvas for chemistry. Now comes ingredient number 2, sugar. Industrial delivery trucks arrive carrying tons of granulated sugar. Not packages, not bags, tons. For the United States formula, Coca-Cola uses high fructose corn syrup. It's cheaper than cane sugar, more stable, easier to work with at industrial scale. For international markets, many countries use actual cane sugar. Mexico's Coca-Cola uses cane sugar. Many people claim it tastes better. Some Americans drive across the border specifically to buy Mexican Coke. The sugar arrives in massive storage silos. These silos are enormous, 3 to 4 stories tall, holding hundreds of thousands of pounds. Workers monitor sugar levels constantly. The factory cannot stop. If sugar runs out, production halts. Millions of dollars lost per hour. The sugar gets pumped through heated pipes to keep it flowing. In liquid form, dissolved in water, it becomes simple syrup. Here's the shocking part. The ratio in Coca-Cola is roughly 90% water and 10% sugar. That means every liter of Coke contains 100 grams of sugar. That's 25 teaspoons per liter. These miniature bottles we're making, they're 200 milliliters each. That's 20 grams of sugar, 5 teaspoons in each tiny bottle. Workers prepare massive batches, 1,000-gallon tanks mixing purified water with sugar. The mixture heats to ensure complete dissolution, no crystals, perfectly smooth. The result is sugar water, the base for every Coca-Cola, but it tastes like nothing. Sweet water, no flavor, no cola taste, no magic. That comes next. Here's where it gets mysterious. The Coca-Cola formula is designated Merchandise 7X. It's the most guarded trade secret in commercial history, more protected than most government secrets. The formula document is stored in a vault at the World of Coca-Cola Museum in Atlanta. The vault requires multiple executives with separate keys to open. They never open it unless absolutely necessary, like when reformulating for a new production facility. Only 2 people know the complete Coca-Cola formula at any given time. They're never allowed to travel together. If they both died simultaneously, the formula would die with them. It's locked in a vault in Atlanta that requires multiple keys to open. So what's in the formula? We know some ingredients because they must be listed on labels by law. Phosphoric acid gives the tangy bite. Caffeine, the addictive hook. Natural flavors, this is the secret part, and caramel color makes it brown. The natural flavors component is where the magic hides. The formula reportedly contains oils extracted from orange, lemon, nutmeg, and cinnamon, vanilla extract, coca leaf extract, cocaine removed but flavor compounds remain, cola nut extract, natural caffeine source, and other botanical extracts, the secret part. What we do know is the concentrated flavor formula is mixed separately from the sugar water. It's called Merchandise 7X or 7X concentrate. The concentrate arrives at bottling facilities in sealed containers. Factory workers never see the formula. They can't access it. They simply receive pre-mixed concentrate and add it to sugar water in precise quantities. The concentrate is dark, almost black, thick, aromatic. A small amount creates massive flavor. Here's what's wild. This flavor concentrate costs more per gallon than the bottled Coca-Cola sells for. The concentrate is the value. Everything else, water, sugar, carbonation, and bottles, is just delivery system. Workers pump precise quantities of concentrate into massive mixing tanks already containing sugar water. The proportions are controlled by computer, no human discretion. The recipe must be exact. The mixture blends for several minutes, giant industrial paddles rotating. The sugar water turns from clear to characteristic caramel brown. The aroma becomes unmistakable. What emerges is Coca-Cola syrup, the foundation for every Coca-Cola worldwide. But it's still not Coke. It's flat, no fizz, no carbonation, no pop when opened. That's the next critical step. Carbonation is what makes Coke Coke. Without it, you just have sweet brown syrup, flat, disappointing, wrong. The carbonation comes from carbon dioxide gas, CO2, the same gas humans exhale, the same gas that makes bread rise. But in Coca-Cola, it's pressurized into liquid at high pressure. Massive CO2 tanks sit outside Coca-Cola factories. These tanks are huge, industrial scale, pressurized to dangerous levels. One tank The carbonated Coca-Cola flows through pressurized pipes to the bottling line. The liquid must stay cold and pressurized until sealed in bottles. If pressure drops, carbonation escapes. Product ruined. The bottling line is where the magic happens, where you see the miniature scale dramatically. These bottles are tiny, just 5 to 10 centimeters tall, about the size of your palm. Mini Coca-Cola bottles for parties, variety packs, novelty purposes. The empty bottles arrive on conveyor belts. They're glass or plastic. Both require different handling. Glass miniature bottles come pre-formed from glass factories. They're inspected under UV light for cracks. Any defect could cause explosion under carbonation pressure. Plastic miniature bottles arrive as preforms, test tube-shaped plastic blanks. They get heated and blown into bottle shape using high-pressure air. This happens right before filling. Workers monitor the process carefully, but their hands look enormous beside the miniature bottles. The scale contrast is striking. A single worker's hand can hold 10 miniature bottles easily. They look like toys beside normal human hands. The empty miniature bottles move on high-speed conveyor belts, thousands per minute. The speed is insane. First stop, rinsing. Even brand new bottles get rinsed with purified water, removing any dust or contamination. The rinse water sprays through tiny nozzles into miniature bottle openings. Next, filling. This is precision work. The miniature bottles pass under filling nozzles. The nozzles descend into bottle openings. Carbonated Coca-Cola flows in while air is displaced out. The filling happens under counterpressure. The interior is pressurized with CO2 before liquid enters. This prevents foaming, maintains carbonation. Each miniature bottle receives exactly 200 milliliters, not 199, not 201, exactly 200. Computer systems monitor with laser precision. The filled miniature bottles move to capping stations. Caps drop from magazines. Machines twist them onto bottle threads. Torque sensors ensure proper tightness. Too loose, carbonation leaks, product goes flat. Too tight, cap threads strip, bottle can't open. The miniature bottles continue down the line, now filled, capped, and sealed. They look absurd beside normal-sized workers, like dollhouse props on an industrial scale. Next comes labeling. Adhesive labels wrap around the tiny bottles, the iconic Coca-Cola logo appearing on miniature scale. The labels must align perfectly, even on miniature bottles. Quality standards are strict. Crooked labels get rejected, bottles kicked off the line. Workers doing quality control can hold a rejected miniature bottle between 2 fingers. The size contrast is comical, except this is serious business worth billions. Inspection happens at multiple points. Cameras check fill levels, weight sensors confirm correct volume, light sensors verify cap presence. Any miniature bottle failing inspection gets ejected by air jets, blown off the conveyor into reject bins. The defect rate is under 0.1%, but with millions of bottles daily, that's still thousands rejected. The approved miniature bottles continue to packaging. They get grouped into multi-packs, 6 bottles, 12 bottles, 24 bottles shrink-wrapped together. Workers with giant hands arrange miniature bottles into cardboard cartons. The size contrast never stops being surreal. Normal human hands manipulating tiny product at industrial scale. The packed cartons move to palletizing. Robotic systems stack cartons onto pallets. Each pallet holds thousands of miniature bottles, wrapped in plastic film for shipping. Forklifts operated by normal-sized humans move pallets to warehouses. The forklifts look massive next to pallets of miniature bottles. From here, the bottles ship worldwide to convenience stores, gas stations, grocery stores, vending machines, where you pick up a miniature bottle, open it, hear the psst of pressure release, take that first fizzy sip, and never think about the industrial scale that created this tiny chemical miracle. But the story doesn't end at production. We need to talk about what this tiny bottle does to your body. So is this refreshing, or is it actually a chemical assault on your body? According to Dr. Susan Roberts, endocrinologist and nutrition researcher at Tufts University, a single serving of Coca-Cola delivers more sugar than your body can process efficiently in one sitting. The sugar spike triggers massive insulin response. Regular consumption trains your body for insulin resistance, the pathway to type 2 diabetes. What people don't realize is these tiny bottles might be tiny, but they're still 200 milliliters of pure sugar delivery. That's 39 grams of sugar, nearly 10 teaspoons, in something that looks innocuous because it's small. The combination of sugar and caffeine creates a perfect storm. Sugar provides immediate energy spike. Caffeine masks the incoming crash, so you crave another bottle. It's biochemically designed for repeat consumption. But from a dental standpoint, that's where the alarm bells ring loudest. Dr. James Martinez, dentist and professor at USC School of Dentistry, Coca-Cola is devastating to dental health. Not just the sugar, though that feeds cavity-causing bacteria. The phosphoric acid directly attacks tooth enamel. Enamel is calcium-based mineral. Phosphoric acid dissolves calcium. Every sip bathes your teeth in acid. The pH of Coca-Cola is 2.5, nearly as acidic as battery acid. Your mouth takes 30 minutes to neutralize that acid after one sip. I can identify regular Coke drinkers by their teeth alone. The erosion pattern is distinctive. Enamel thinned on front teeth, sensitivity to cold, early cavity formation. And these miniature bottles? People think, oh, it's small, it's harmless, but the acid concentration is identical. The Coca-Cola Company responds through their Beverage Institute. Coca-Cola has been safely consumed by billions of people for 130 years. All ingredients are FDA approved and used in quantities deemed safe by regulatory agencies worldwide. Regarding sugar content, we offer zero sugar options, including Coca-Cola Zero Sugar and Diet Coke. Consumers have choices. On dental concerns, all acidic foods and beverages should be consumed in moderation. We recommend drinking water afterward and maintaining good dental hygiene. These miniature bottles serve a purpose: portion control. Instead of drinking a 2-liter bottle, consumers can enjoy a miniature serving and stop. That's responsible product sizing. So who's right? The truth is, Coca-Cola is high in sugar. It does contain acid. Regular consumption is linked to health problems. But Coca-Cola isn't marketed as health food. It's marketed as an occasional treat, a moment of refreshment, a celebration beverage. And in that context, enjoyed occasionally, it's probably fine. The problem is, most people don't drink Coke occasionally. They drink it daily, multiple times daily. That's when health impacts accumulate. Here are some wild facts about Coca-Cola that most people never learn. Fact: if you lined up every Coca-Cola product sold in one day, the bottles would circle the earth 4 times. That's 1.9 billion servings, daily, every day, forever. Fact: Coca-Cola is the second most recognized word in the world. Only OK ranks higher. More people recognize Coca-Cola than recognize hello. Fact:
During World War II, Coca-Cola set up 64 bottling plants near military bases to supply American soldiers. General Eisenhower specifically requested Coke. It became a patriotic symbol, the taste of home. Fact: Mexican Coca-Cola uses cane sugar instead of corn syrup. Some Americans claim it tastes better. Mexican Coke has a cult following. People pay premium prices for it. Fact: the contoured Coca-Cola bottle was designed to be recognizable even if broken. You should be able to identify it by touch in the dark. That's how iconic the shape became. Fact: Coca-Cola was originally sold as medicine, a brain tonic for headaches and fatigue. The original ads claimed it cured morphine addiction, neurasthenia, and headaches. Obviously, those claims disappeared. Fact: the red color of Coca-Cola branding came from tax purposes. Barrels of Coca-Cola syrup were painted red to distinguish them from alcohol during shipping. Alcohol had different tax rates. Fact: New Coke, the 1985 reformulation, might be the biggest brand disaster in history. Coca-Cola changed the formula. Customers revolted. The company brought back the original formula as Coca-Cola Classic within 77 days. Fact: you can use Coca-Cola to clean rust off tools, remove oil stains from driveways, and loosen corroded battery terminals. The phosphoric acid that's in your drink is strong enough for industrial cleaning. And here's the wildest fact: every second, somewhere on Earth, someone is opening a Coca-Cola, day or night, every second, for the entire history of modern humanity since 1886. The factories producing these miniature bottles, many run 24 hours a day, 3 shifts, continuous production, millions of tiny bottles every single day. Those giant human hands packaging miniature bottles, they've touched millions, maybe tens of millions over the course of a career. The scale of Coca-Cola production is biblical when you really think about it. So there you have it.